Alrighty, good evening. We are back to where we left off last time, at least roughly. Not exactly sure where I actually landed last time. When I logged in, I was back over there somewhere. And if I seem mentally displaced, shall we say, it's because I am. Less than 5 minutes ago, I was doing something very different and looked at the clock and going, oh crap. So, yeah, my brain is still translating into satisfactory mode. So we are building train tracks, still, in preparation for completely rebuilding the factory, in preparation for completing phase 4. So we have just come up out of the valley, got our roundabout here to continue into the grassy plains going that way. So this is where we are. And why do I have a crate? But this is to go on down into whatever manufacturing happens down here, and what we are building is the rest of the global network that will come up across here, down here, and up the coast. Whatever will happen down here remains to be seen. There is ways over here to have a railroad that comes up here, but this is so very steep, and there's actually a pass under there somewhere or other that's even steeper. I would like to have a railroad loop that comes down here and back up here, but this is so steep in there. I've tried building railroad up there a couple of times before. I think I'm going to ignore that. I may possibly have a look at it once we get up here and consider putting another intersection here just for later, but we'll see when we get up there. So that's where that goes, that's where this goes, and yeah, so right now we are going to go up across, basically following this dirt area. We'll go up across there. That is up across this here. And there is a particular route up through here that we'll address when we get up there. And user need to go find a different place to hang out. Let's see. 5 should be the straight. And we want to move into Blueprint Auto Connect mode. Why are we not? This should connect exactly. Oh, that's because we came up as yes. Okay, so we're still on a tilt here. And I need to find put some flight rails out here. Hopefully I can remember out here exactly what the route is. I think the route is through there. We can come up here, but it's a really sharp turn to do so. Where if we're coming down there, coming up through here, oh wait, maybe it's there. Jetpack time. Do some surveying. Because where we're going, going is here. This is this valley. This is where we're going. So we can come down along here. And we got a bunch of trees here in the way of where we really would want to go. Coming up, how do we want to get down through to here? We've got a bunch of trees here. Kind of pretty much have to get rid of the whole bunch of them, especially this row. And maybe not that row, but definitely that needs to go. Yeah, I guess that one needs to go. Question is whether this road needs to go, and I'm thinking it does. Maybe not. Because we're going to be coming across here. Coming up across there and trying to go to Erg. Going in from over there, and we can follow the road, but it'd be a lot easier just to cut through here. But we're trying to go down there. It would be preferred to come up through there, actually, just to come straight up. We have a rock there. We have a rock here. We have a node there. Can I go higher up here? I mean... guess that works. I want to stand on that. That works. We come up across there, we got 2 rocks here. If we go inside of those 2 rocks, I'm in the way of that node. If I come outside the 2 rocks, basically coming through right where I put this. Hello, Doug. Welcome to the stream and the chaos of me thinking. Looks like we probably want to just come up through right where I put this. We want to go down there, so clear out a few more groups of trees. Coming just outside of the... There you go. He is... I don't know as he is the trained master of the game, but he is certainly among them in my opinion. And yeah, if he, well, he has his own sets of tutorials, but his are long and involved and give all kinds of details, where there are others that are short and to the point, relatively speaking. Kind of depends on what type of tutorial you want. I mean, if you want to watch my long building tutorials, I give tips too, but mine are, I don't do them as training things because I am definitely not a expert on trains. I'm still learning myself. I think for the moment we're going to try this to get rid of some of these trees so I can see what I'm getting into. What I love about what he does is he does the decoration for trains just off the top of his head, and I understand what he does, but there's no way I can do anything close. It's just fun to watch him do it. I mean, I watched him build a trestle across the grassy plains here, down around that corner. We were building a couple of factory buildings down there and an intersection somewhere in here, and he no blueprints, no nothing. He built that intersection and somewhere around the corner here, just freehanded it in a matter of like 10 minutes. And it's like, how did you do this? I'm sitting here watching him do it. It's like, okay. Alright, so no big rocks here except for these right here in the way. So if I come up... Oh, hello. That hurt. If I come up through... Clear that out. Bring it up through right where these trees are. I'm not interested in the decoration myself. I'm interested in functional and looking decent. So what I've done down here, this is all I need. It looks good. It certainly does what it needs to do. Decorating it beyond this. If I have time and I'm in the mood at some point, sure. But the kind of decoration that Whitestone and other people do, whether it's trains or factories or whatever, I don't really give a crap. I mean, they look nice when other people do them, but doing them myself, yeah, whatever. I don't. I'm not concerned about it. All right, let's kill this. I probably should have gotten myself moving a little bit before I did that. So we're going to come up through here. I guess we're going to come right down that ridge line. I'm assuming you're talking about a mod? Your mod or just one you like to use? Alright, where's my power? Dun 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 dun. Oops, I need this. Grab a power line here. We're going to come off of this. We'll go up on the rock here somewhere. Really? Teleportation. What? Explain. I'm curious. So we're going to come up through here, I guess. Somewhere. Then at some point we're going to transition around the curve here to go down here. And then we'll figure out from there. Get rid of a few trees here. Now let's get a few of these out around here. So we'll come around there in a curve. After we've come, let's see, we're coming outside of that rock. We've got to come outside of that rock. Ugh. I want to come straight up through here. I've got to come outside of this rock. I've got to come outside of that rock. So I've got to come through this valley between that rock and those rocks. Okay. I'm going to try to leave this stuff. We're going to be coming straight up through here. let's see, where am I coming up through? I'm coming up through this valley, okay. So I'm going to need some of this space here. And this here. And maybe a bit more of this corner here. That should do. Alrighty. So pull this out so it can auto-connect. And see how far along here we can bring it. Yeah, I guess maybe the part of the question is how far do we want to bring it at a time? So we can kind of make a nice looking curve here. And make sure that this looks good vertically. And it looks beautiful vertically. Fair warning, sneezing coming. Welcome back again. I didn't go anywhere, so, because I don't think I went anywhere, although alright, now here, do I want to start power lines. Do I want to start my uphill here? Yes, I do. I definitely want to start uphill here, and it looks like probably I want a 2-meter uphill. You missed me thinking. And so you didn't miss much. Got the curve in here, got me clearing out the pathway up there mostly. 2-meter ramp. Connect here. Too far there. Make sure it's pointed decently. Looks like it is. See if it looks good vertically. Not so much. So, what that means, two options. What I think I'm going to do is come back to flat. Not go quite so far up. Make this straight. Now we'll go for 2-meter off the end of this. And now we are going through here. Just double checking there. So what we're going to do is aim this right in there somewhere and see how this looks vertically. That looks much better vertically, but it's actually too much of a vertical. Oh, hello. So, do I want to bring it down? here. And we still need to bring it down like this. I'm going to go with that. Fit another one off of the end of this. This one's going to have to turn a little bit here. We don't want it to go that much. We want to turn a little bit. We're going to be just off of what the main track is there and see what this looks like. Bring that down. Do we want to level out now, or yeah, let's level out now. So we're going to take this down to flat. This right in here among the rocks, I think. Make sure this looks sane. I mean, we are talking about something I'm building, so sane is a relative thing here, but to come back, maybe like this. See how this looks. How are we vertically? Clean enough. And then we're going to go back to a 1 meter, I think, on the way down. What does the 1 meter ramp look like for on the way down? That looks right. Looks like it should be sufficiently angled. 2 meter looks well, yeah, maybe a 2 meter. I think though before I do that, we're going to grab and make some more power runs down here. And make some more plans as to where we're going down here. So we need to basically go straight where I'm looking. Need to find where that ridge is and stay above it. That ridge has got to be this here. So we want to stay above that ridge, and we're going under that. More power lines. Now I think we're going right straight down through here. Nope, 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 power lines. There we go. Yes, that's where we're going. Kind of want to stay up to the side. Where these ridges are actually. See how much of this I can clear out without clearing out the big trees. Oh, hi friends. Here, have some party. Enjoy. Let's see. So there's a ridge here somewhere. Okay, that ridge. And apparently I want to stay... Nope, see there's a ridge right here. That must be underneath. I'm going to have to nuke this. Okay, pick these up. Oh, hey. Those are your siblings, buddy? Here, let's share the party with you. Now typically those guys come in four, so there's another one running around somewhere. Yeah, see? Here he is. Oh, looks like there's a number 5 up there too. Come here, buddy. Alright, so that's where we're going. Under that, that's probably that spike. Can we see it? That spike down there. And then I keep debating whether to go straight across to this or go around it, but there's a couple of nodes here, so I don't really want to go over it. But going around it is going to be very interesting. But let's figure that out when we come down here. Right now, we are coming across right here. coming down. So we need to get rid of some of this. Maybe this guy. Maybe he'll help. Maybe not. Let's see. Clear you guys out because we're going to need to cut pretty close to that. I'd like to avoid this big tree here on the left or on the right, depending on which way you're looking. So that clears where I'm going. I need to cut a not too sharp around this rock, which is what I was trying to figure out ultimately. So you have our train here. Now we're going to go for a 2-meter ramp coming off of this to come down the hill. Oh, that's not very long. I might have to run it over the hill. So like that maybe? Grab us a slug. And we're going to go with another 2-meter, I think. Let's see how far out we can go straight out. We have a curve, but it's a decent curve. Is this a 1 or a 2? That's a 1. That is not a 2. But that might also be what we want here. Yes. Because now I want to go level. So I think that is definitely correct. Even though it was accidental. In fact, I kind of think I want to come up some with this. Right there. Now we go with a straight flat. Above that ridge I'm looking at. kind of, what does this look like? Looks good set, looks good from above. Looks good from the side. At least good enough. Let's go down one. Okay, that looks good. How does it look vertical? We're going back up, but at a acceptable level. I don't want to go, I don't need to put a ramp in here. Because then it's just going to be up and down ramps all the way through here. We don't need that. Since there's a road of sorts through there, we'll come back a ways. Again, look at this sideways. Again, we're going up, but not much, not enough to make an issue out of it. Let's see, what are we doing here? We've got the... We've got to go around this. We've got the pinnacle over there. I probably want to come around this side of the pinnacle, though. Either that or right over it. Because if I go over here, I'm not sure where to put my... There's also actually a road over there. How is there a road over there? What the heck? What's this then? Oh. Okay, that's where I need to go, is up there, actually. I was looking at this as it looked like it's something that went back through here, and that's where the mountain is. So I'm like, how is that? But it's not. It's this. It is... I'm looking at this here. And it's this here that looked like it went behind the mountain. So we're looking down through here. That's where I need to go, actually. Not out through... Well, I suppose I could go straight, but that is the... That's where I don't... That's where I want to avoid, because there is... You can see a node right there. There's another node over there, and I think there is a third one here somewhere. Yeah, we got iron there, there's copper over there. Seems like there's another one out here. But either way. Okay, so I was looking at going down here, but that's not where I want to go. That's down here. So that's not where we want to go. We want to go this way. Alright, so again, do some terrain clearing here, so we can get a better view of what's what we're looking at. Let's see, we have iron there, and I'm at the end of power. We have iron over there, and I know I saw copper back there. And the route we want is over there around that. Wonder if we can go up straight up there instead. What is that? So that's going straight up in here, and then making a turn and down there, as opposed to making a sharp turn here and going down to the beach. Looks like some surveying time here. Grab me a power line. So this goes up onto the plateau. There's the other iron. This is mountain stuff. And a place for my power pole. So we're looking at the possibility of going up in here. I don't see any clear reason why not. And then we'd be coming actually might be a good thing if we then come down here, because this gives us a route up into whatever this up here is. And that can only be a good thing. See, this up here is an area I am not familiar with. I'm sure I've been up there, but it's not, I don't know that I've ever built or done anything notable up through there. So, but it looks like it'd be rather relatively simple to get train or whatnot in there. So, don't suppose it can hurt to have a ready access from the main train line. I mean, I could always put an intersection here to go that way, I suppose. Maybe even do both. But this looks simpler than making the sharp turn down here and back. So, on our way back, do some terrain clearing as necessary. Now I'd like to kill this bush without the tree next to it. Haha. And then if we can come between all these trees without needing to kill all those trees, would make me feel good. Can't really avoid these. much of this I can... Gonna have to get rid of these. This. That. Alright, so route plotted, or most of it. We still don't know which side of this we're going. But I think now that we have this figured out, we're going to come outside of that. So we're going to come down here outside of this bump. So we have a little more gentle curve going up into there. Yep. At some point well, I was going to say I'm going to have to move that one of these power things, but we're going to remove all of them anyways at some point. Oh no, we can't let this be. Gotta fix that. Can't have a floating railroad. See how level we can keep this. That's nice and level, and it fits nice and clean, so we're going to stick with that. And I think that we will do the same here. Take this out to a point just before the turn. But close enough to the turn so that the next one is within range. We're going to go there for starters. Next one is on the other side. I would like to make the whole turn, or most of it. Even better if it'll go straight, and it won't. So we're going to do something like that. That's a bit of a raise that we don't want. So we're going to go with, nope, I want this way. Something like that. We definitely want to bring down. That looks decent. I do not like or understand how, maybe it's just looks, but it looks like the shorter rail gets bumped up higher than the outer rail. Maybe it's just looks. Okay. Back to flat. We don't actually want straight, do we? We want something along this line, as far out as we can get. How does that look? Not straight, but I don't want to bring this over any further. This one. What I need to check is how does this look? That's fine. And that's okay. That one is not okay. And we have trees in the way. Might have to get nasty here. I need to see what it looks like where I'm placing it. Alright, try this again. We want from there. We are concerned about just getting around that knob right there. But that's really our only concern. And make sure the track looks halfway decent. We've got up far too much. Ow, 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 ow. So this one should have been up some. This one, if it wasn't just flat again, I'd say we'd do a 1 meter ramp here somewhere. But I don't think it's worth it. Well, I'm always tired. Well, I don't feel tired, but I'm yawning, so. I guess the question would be, why am I yawning? Okay, now where am I? Yeah, right there where that pinnacle is where I need to turn. Or put my intersection or whatever. Are we going to end up putting our intersection right over top of that? I mean, I'm not opposed to that. Let's see. Oh boy, yawning again. All kinds of fun paths here. Let's see. So does a train track count as a powered building as far as things like that not respawning? Alright, so if we put this in a location like this, bring it back even more this way. We're lined up good for that, mostly. Technically lined up to go up there, but that seems a bit on the narrow side. That is definitely going to need probably a 2 meter to go up there. And this is probably going to need a 2 meter going down. All of which is possible. However, first we need, well, I suppose it'd be helpful to actually place it first. We need 2 of those there, 2 of those there, and 2 of these here, so that we can do tracks. Like that. And then we can do, see, we want 2 meter going down for over here. That's a nice angle. Can we go not much further? Yep, I like that location. And that should be take that down to a 1. Yes, that is a 1. Bring this up a hair. Nope, not that far. Maybe that far. Yeah. Power, minor issue. Let's connect the rails. Wonder if we're close enough that I can take and connect this on both ends here. Haha. Close enough? Yes. Much leeway? No. Okay, mental mark. We are right where this bush is. And the mental mark is because we're going to take and mark off from here. If I can snap to this to start with. We're going to go straight out from this to that previously acknowledged point. So we've got 1, 2, 3 spots. So go to the middle of those 2 spots. How do we look for level? That looks better. That looks weird, but it looks at least not abnormal. Alright, so how do we look? We've got... Where's my mouse? Got a bit of a sharp turn here. Might have to go back here and revisit this line here. Why is such a sharp turn there? I got all kinds of space here. kinds of spacers work with. Oh, we've got, this is the other pinnacle here. We are above the pinnacle anyways, so it is not a concern. So we're going to keep that point there. That is a flat. This is a flat. This is a ramp. Wonder about using a ramp all the way across here, but that's good. It's a long, even for a one ramp, that's a long space. I think. Okay, we're getting rid of this one. We're getting rid of this one. And we need to get rid of these two rails. Can I use well, I wanted auto connect here. Why won't you auto connect? Here we go. Okay, it has to sit right there then, doesn't it? That doesn't look bad. This one doesn't look bad. Guess that's where we're putting it. Let's see what that looks like on the map. That looks far better on the map. Now, what I didn't do, however, is look at it vertically. But it looks okay vertically. Not ideal, but okay. So now, we're not going to worry about that for the time being. That's for a later thing. Now we're just coming down here to the beach. And do I need another? Yes, we probably need another down. Might need more power. Alright, once we're here, this is where the options become vague. I mean, we can continue on from the other part of that now where'd my mouse go again? My mouse vanished. Why is my mouse? There's my mouse. We could take this up here and come down through somewhere where in there. Coming down the beach here, we have no choice. I don't think I can go through underneath there. I'll have to look. But we need to go under here. And going under here is no problem. But then we have... What is it with my mouse? It wants to be on one of the screens on either side of the game screen. Make a jump the water here. Again, not a major issue. Under there. Coming across here. We can go under both of these. And through here into the Rocky Desert, which, interestingly, I have uncovered everything but parts of the Rocky Desert. Now that's odd. We can also, alternately, and it makes for some interesting possibilities. Instead of going down the beach up through here, and maybe along with, we can go out either from here or here, whichever is more convenient. Either way, go out to this island. And thus, for anyone who's played, there are 4 oil nodes here. So if we come up, let's see, there's a big hill here, a big rock there. The big hill would be a disadvantage for if we come across here. If we come here, we can skirt along the near side of that hill, although we do still need to go over it to some extent. But we can, like, put our stands on either side of it so that the rails itself just barely rock the top of it. But either way, we come across, skim the top of this hill, come across out here, and out this way into the Rocky Desert. The advantage of bringing it out across this island is it puts us closer to the oil nodes if we want to have train access to whatever we do with that oil. I mean, we can always put train stations anywhere, however we want to, if we put them up in the air or what have you. There's lots of room here. It's just one of many possibilities. Either way, we come up here to the Rocky Desert, and I'm gonna have to open up some of that map to remember where I want to put rails through there. There is a lot of open space. There's a lot of rocks. There's a lot of resources in not obvious places. There's a lot of reasons to put rail here or there or both, or yeah. So I'm going to have to open that up to remember what to do with that. But before we get there, we've got to get there. That made a lot of sense, didn't it? Typical me. So for the moment, we're going to grab another power line. So this is the first option, going out here. And maybe I should drop some power. And that would go across to the island here. Or we come up. Wait a minute, is that? No. Over there was the first option, coming off of there, across here onto here. This is the second option, coming across here. And basically we would be going through the valley there and across this side of that, over onto that rock around the edge of that. Or we come out through does not want to link. Come across to the beach here. And there's some more access up into the weird areas up through there. I think that would go all the way up in there. So other options for training. Come on, Link. It apparently doesn't like me shooting directly through the power line, which is weird. But if I'm doing it directly in line with the power line, I can't link to it. So this brings us out once we come around that rock, this brings us out into the Rocky Desert. And from here, so back to the map here. Coming from the other end of the railroad, which is going to be interesting because I've either got to move my power plant or elevate the rails up over top of it, because some idiot would build my power plant close to the ground. Don't know who would have done that. So I've got to elevate the rail system over the power plant. Obvious route down through the valley here. Several options at this point of how to bring the rail to the rest of the world. Oh, I was looking at the map and I wasn't seeing something I'm used to seeing. I see it. I was looking at the map wrong. So anyways, coming out of the valley here, there's a variety of options for crossing the inlet. You can cross it directly and come up like over here, or even you can jump this ridge fairly easily, or you can come up along the side here and across the bridge. I've done both. Then there are, I need to open this up, but there are actually several ways from here over to across this area. One of the common ways, well, okay, there's a route across here underneath, below the river. There's a route up here, above the river. Both have their advantages. I'm prone to the lower route here myself, I think. Although there's resources up here and down here that would be nice to have access through train, although this hill is a pain in the ass for building train. Don't ask me how I know this. There's a hill here to get up to that thing, so if you came across here, you might do an intersection here, come down or across. Either way, if I come down across here, bridge across there, kind of come down through this area-ish. There's a whole bunch of resources here. There's a bunch of resources back here somewhere. I don't know exactly. Actually, I think they're all the way back here in this corner. It's hard to tell with this covered up. There's not really a good train route down through here, although in the last world I played, there's not only one, there's two through that area. I didn't build them. A train would be nice going up here. There's some resources up here, and that would also give access across into the highlands over here. Or actually, highlands here. That's the northern forest here. And that is accessible from train here, however that area gets done. But there's not really any other access. There's a hill here, but I don't know that I'd want to do a train up there. This is a much easier train route through here. I mean, okay, there's a pool there, but you can deal with that. Yeah, just me semi-randomly thinking about where I'm headed with the train. So let's try to build some. Power lines. Train. Alright, it would be really, really nice if the hover pack was a little bit faster. Where did I leave the train track? Why does it go back to hovercraft? I want to slide, not hovercraft. I don't want hovercraft. I want a slide jump. Where'd my rail go to? There's my rail. Okay, we are on a ramp, and we were going to do another ramp. And we got somehow distracted from doing so. Oh, lack of power. I do believe was the issue. Yes, I think we do. I'll put a turn in it here. Let's maybe even put, nope, just one turn. Let's see where this lines up. That doesn't look like much of a segment. And I'm not sure I want to ramp at that point, actually. Yeah, we're going to go with the straight like that, or the flat like that. That looks good. And I'm kind of tempted to try to just go straight, but we're going straight. If I go absolutely straight, is going to clip that arch. Let's find out just how closely we clip that arch. Ooh. Might we make it? That's too close. That is unsatisfactory. I mean, the train doesn't care, but you know. Would be nice to be able to just make a straight shot through there. But that means I've got to take and remove this last one here and redo. There. Objection. Don't like. Move to the side a little bit here. I can't turn because turn is too much. Make sure angles are good. Oh, we gotta start here, locked there. How far do we get to go? Not much further, there's that. Let's come back here a bit. Mark it there. Should be fine. That is not what I asked you to do. Really? Oh, once again, I want to start there. No clipping. don't get as far as I want. Nope, I wanted to get out onto that next beachhead. Let's bring this back to somewhere in here. And then we can put the next one on that next beachhead. How far? Yeah. Once again, make it like this. Camera angle, all important. And, oh, that's nice. Let's put the signals right in the arch. Not any problem with that, right? It's a matter of, will the train clip that? And I'm afraid the answer is probably yes. But not if we do that. Pretty sure that will clear, though not positive. One way to find out. Let's grab a train. That's not what I wanted to grab. Let's grab a train. All well clear, well clear. Now we have to turn. How is that? That is nice and clean. Actually, let's take and we're just going to run it right straight out. Should be about as far as it goes. Yep, so let's bring it back here. Here to this little point. Might have been nice to bring it in a little bit, but yeah, skirting the water isn't a problem. That leaves room over here to do things too. Yeah, we're gonna go there. We're gonna lock it on there and go out again. And here in a minute, I'm going to have to take a break. Oh good, I made it onto the beach though. This one we need to turn again. This one should get out to that little bit of a point there, and it'll right about there. So we'll bring it back right about there. Now we're going to link it and turn. Something like that. I can turn it if I come out here. I can turn it more, but no. Go something like that. Keep it fairly close here on the point. How's that look? No. like it a little more up on shore. That still works. So we're going to go with that. And now we can go back to making nice straight lines again. But once we get into the dunes here, this is going to get a bit more interesting. So let's bring this back to right about there. Nice clean set of rails right on the beach through here. Get through the dunes underneath here. Should be able to make a straight line. Wonder if that straight line will make it past that. Yeah, it looks like it will. That would be that rock edge right there. Does look like we should be able to skim right by it with a straight line from where we are. Might need to move a tree. But that would put us into, well, once I get under here, I'm probably going to want to turn anyways, because the line we have is going to line right up with that. Yeah, lines right into that rock. So we're going to need to turn before we get to that rock anyways. So we're likely going to want to turn just about time we get to that, and turn at least a little bit this way to go maybe in between that rock and that knob. Uncertain. And actually, but when we get to, you know what, I'm going to go up to that point, and we're going to be time. It's only going to be 2 hours, although we've made quite a bit of progress for 2 hours. Would like to stream more, but what comes is a lot more thinking about the route. So I think I'm going to get under here, bring it up there, and probably call it there, but we'll see. Or maybe we'll stop. Maybe we can stop the railroad there and take some time and open this up and think about what we're gonna do. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Got to do that anyways, one way or another. Okay, so let's move this rail on out. We're just gonna keep going straight and flat for now, although I may have to adjust up and down for the dunes, but we're going to try to keep it flat. I don't want to put it right in the dunes. Kind of hard to avoid that one, looks like. Nope, need to put it here, lock it, move it out, viewpoint. Well, that's going further than I expected. There we go. We might even miss that tree. Yep, we missed the tree, barely. Hey. Well, the railroad tracks missed the tree anyways. Now this is where we gotta turn. Can I reasonably take this out to the riverbank? Power! 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 Oh, let's see. So this is the rock that going straight will run into, and its companion. Hard to see beyond the trees, but I pointed out another rock that kind of need to go between. That's that one over there. Let's see, how much farther can I push this? We can push that right out to the edge of the river. What does that look like vertically? So that will have, that just barely reaches above the bank on the other side. So the bank on the other side would have to have a low placed ramp of some sort. But I do have enough room to make a nice graceful turn over that direction. Or I guess conceivably up there and go between those. Do I want to... No, there's no good path to put train rail across there. So not much point in an intersection right there. The other option is to take from here and take and run my rail that direction. That might actually be the better choice. We're gonna cancel that. Yeah, we're gonna do some jetpack exploring now. All kinds of crap going on in my inventory here. Why do I have all the copper and pipe in my inventory? Copper sheet would have to be from tubes. What would the pipe be from? Why in crap? And why in crap is this down in... that keeps showing up every time. Okay, we're gonna drop a... let's grab that again for a minute. We're gonna drop a sink and a bin here. Don't we need? Pretty sure I don't need any of this. Don't need that. Don't need that. Let's jetpack. Let's go have a look at stuff. One of my favorite things in the game. Heart rock destruction with explosive reload. Yes, I know there's assholes in here. Why are my filters not doing me any good? I'm guessing I have just the nuclear filters and not the main filters. That's fine. I can have my way of dealing with the fart gas. Alright, brats. Isn't there a big brat in here somewhere? And there's a purple worm here somewhere. Oh, ah! Alright, that should open up the map for a lot of it. Yeah, we gotta go up there. But not off the edge. Big time up. Worm. More worm. Must have more worm. Repairs needed, type unknown. Don't have repair rods. Or control rods, or whatever that was. Anything else here? Like control rods? Not seeing any. Okay, now do I have this opened up? Need to go this way. What's not opened up? There's a rack out here. Oh, come on, I didn't fall that far. Did I already get this wreck? Apparently, I did. I hate that it shows it there until I get close. Yeah. I hope they fix that in 1.2. I really, really do, as I'm sure does everybody else. I know it has some to do with the fact that I don't have long-range shape loading, because I have a antique video card that can barely play the game to start with. But I also know that people with much better cards than I do experience the same thing, so. Okay, that should have that part opened up. Let's go over here and see what we can open up. Oh, this is all of the hidden everything. Some really cool area. Oh, hello. Oh, Sam. I see Sam. I see Grandpa Spider. Let's see if I can annoy Grandpa Spider. I missed. Didn't miss that one. Bye, Grandpa. Is this Grandma Spider up here? Oh, this is just a baby spider. Let's see, what do we got? Ooh, another wreck. And it's operational. Oh. No, not what I had in mind. Any obvious pieces over the side? That's a hog, or spitter actually. Okay, now what? That should open up everything here. Need to go that way. Another purple slug. With guardians. Oh, you guys aren't staying together? How dare you? One down. Missed. And his body is going to fall for a couple of minutes. Which was the idea. Alright, where's the other one? Alright. Don't really need to... No, where'd my mouse go? Where's my mouse? Need to open this up. But more importantly, I really need to open that up since that's where our trains are going. So let's go back over here where the trains are going. I can open up that other area later. Oop, purple slug. Rock pig. Yeah. Running out of forward movement. See if we can make it over there to that wreck. See if that wreck still exists when I get there. So last time we had one train that ran right between, actually between, I think it was running between the rock and those water pools. And this was all big factories in here, every single inch. Hi, buddy. Here, I got a Christmas present for you. There, have another one. Oh, you want another one? Okay. There. I'm only giving you 3. Enjoy. Let's see. Need to get rid of these guys. They're annoying. Needs power. Suck on it. Anything else? One more piece down here. So looking over here. If someone wonders about my kind of voice change when I come across an edge like this, I'm not scared of heights. I don't give a crap about the height. I do have issues with unprotected edges, even if they're as low as a single-story edge. Unprotected edge bothers me. Height, don't care. Let's see. Still need to get over to that swath over there. So let's grab, we got a blue slug here, and a yellow slug over there. And I believe that's a Caterium node here. Whoops, hey. Yep, that's Caterium there. Let's see, where's that yellow slug? That's over here somewhere. Yep. Okay. Still some hidden stuff over here for some reason. Thought I would have been high enough up to see everything I needed to. What's still hidden? There's nothing over here. I mean, there's a wreck site right here, but... What do you guys think? Should I do away with these bees or just leave them alone? Glad you agree. It didn't kill the bees, which is half the point. That's not cool. There. Okay. And there's still something not opened up. What the heck? Is the top of that rock? Must be the top of that rock. And there's still a spot that says it isn't opened up. Looks like that's got it opened up, but now there's a rock. Something over here. Screw it. We've got open what we need to figure out trains. This is just level stuff, so not worrying about that. Although I probably need to go up there. So, we need to go from here across all this somewhere, And we need to get to, well, ultimately we need to get to this valley. We can get there by going across somewhere here. There's 100 options there. Coming up across to over here along the line and across the bridge here. This bridge here also leads up into, or can lead up into the northern forest region. A number of routes up there. Main one being up along here, but there's other ways. Possible route, train route up here to get up into the upper area here, but that's kind of steep. Easier to come up this way from where we are, but as we looked earlier along here, this isn't really suitable for a train, so it'd be more bring the train out here somewhere, and then as we're crossing here somewhere, make a spur that comes back down. And a number of options for that. It's actually possible to, well, if you go high, this is where I showed a minute ago from above the two pools. So I know that we've done train up there, although right off the top of my head I don't know how they got the train up there, because the train went from there. Where did that train go? That train went from there over here and up there, and then it came across to here somewhere. So there's the Caterium on the end of that somewhere or other. It came across behind the Caterium and must have joined my main train line in here. We had train going everywhere on that map. Well, at least everywhere around here. There wasn't much. We went up. Well, yeah, we went. I got the train most of the way around the world, I think. I think we had it the whole. I think we ended up with it running more or less the same route I have here. From there, we've got the Dune Desert out here. We had several train routes out there. We had train across the north up here. Had train running down through there. Don't think we had any train up here. Don't think we had much of anything in here. Almost everything we had was here. This the Rocky Desert had just about everything, and this area, this corner here, was almost solid buildings in multiple tiers. And by tiers I mean crying and levels, but crying. There was definitely crying involved. My inclination is to come from here, bring the rail across the river here, where it's a relatively low spot. And then find a straight line, bringing it across. Well, find a straight line, bring it north as much straight as possible, but I do want to go up this hill here. So at some point I'm going to have to weave and turn, and that's a nice hill to get up. Gonna have to take a look at that. Definitely a 2 meter ramps, and possibly a long ramp. It might not go right straight up. I might have to, because I know the previous one See, up here, I've built all the way around the world, but um, I know how to say what I'm trying to say. I'm not as familiar with good train routing in this area. Um, I've done it on two worlds now, but it was it was of the type of here's a factory, get me a train line here kind of thing, rather than thinking it out ahead of time, which I'm trying to do here. Because for those who haven't seen my previous streams, right now, well, okay, you can see at the top right, I'm at the end of phase 4. I have all of the tiers done. I just need to do those parts, and then I'm into phase 5. My entire factory, save for power, let's see, power is here, here, so we've got coal power here, wait a minute, no, we've got coal power here, oil power here, and oil power here, and a tiny amount of power here. But did I do any? I haven't done any power up there yet. I have aluminum here, being supplied with copper from here. I have plastic, rubber, and explosives and weapon stuff being done here. That's all my Fixma stuff there. Everything else is right here. That's everything that I've done up through all of phase 4 tiers is right here. And if you can't tell, that is single tier, that is single layer. There's not multiple layers there. That's not factory on top of factory. That is primarily, let's see, what do we got here? This is steel. This is copper. This is iron. This, see, yeah, steel. One section's pipes, one section's bars. This is all of the base iron stuff. This is all the base copper stuff. This is miscellaneous. Oh, actually, that's concrete there. So we've got a few miscellaneous machines here, there, and back there that are doing a few random things. We got a few machines back here doing some random things. Well, they're not random, but and that's it. That's how I've gotten to where I'm at. This is my starter factory for all intents and purposes. Well, it is my starter factory, and I've used that to get where I'm at. Oh, Caterium there. What is down here? Oh, that is crystal down there. So my plan here is I'm building infrastructure ahead of time before I just completely rebuild everything from scratch. So I will be starting base iron, base copper, base everything at somewhere on the map. Railroads to get from point A to point B. I'll be building new factories for all the parts, all the bits, somewhere connected by rail. But I want to get that good rail network done first instead of building it mishmash as things happen. Once I have this rail all thought out and built, and maybe a couple of spurs, then I will start rebuilding from scratch. Actually, no. If we look here on the right, more power. I am at the edge of my existing power. Once I have that, I need to do sand fluctuators. Now that I have actually I've been needing to do that for a while. And then mass plastic and mass deuterium and probably mass rubber actually. because right now the only plastic and rubber that I have are, I have, why is my mouse being an asshole? Um, this mini factory here is got one doing plastic, one doing rubber, one doing smokeless powder, and one doing fuel and refineries. And that is my entire plastic and rubber right there. So I'm going to need a little bit more than that for the plastic and rubber. So I will probably, well, I got several options. There's oil down here, there's oil over there, there's lots of oil up there. Some of that's going to go for power, and some of that's going to go for plastic and rubber. We'll figure that out later. But yeah, I need everything. What I have here has been enough to, I mean, what my base factory there was primarily to feed the dimensional depots. It is not scaled in any way to do manufacturing. What I've built, well, I'm playing the wrong thing, main factory here, was largely courtesy to the fact that this is on a server that's running 24/7. So I set something up and then let it run for a day or two. So I have enough to do the various tiers. It is not manufacturing ready in any way, shape, or manner. That's just feeding the depot. So anyways, now that I've said all this, giving you guys an idea what I'm thinking about, I'm actually thinking that was plans that never happened. There's concrete and caterium here that was meant to be mass, turned into mass stuff there. I'm wondering about taking and starting back here with the rail to come down here. But then again, that's easy. There's nothing hard about going through there. I can do that off stream, get the boring things off stream. I guess my goal here is going to be targeting this hill, and then we'll work from there as far as how I get from there down here, because this is a fixed point that I need to hit, because this is big cliffs here. There's no other way for me to get on top of that cliff, and I need to get on top of that cliff in order to get down here. May want to put rails up there. Arguably easier to get rails up into this area. I think I'll hold off on putting, at least planning rails up there. They may go up there later. Am going to want to put rails down, well, some way I can get rails down here. How that's going to happen, I'm not sure. There's a route, if I'm careful, I can go, this could be interesting. And I have started planning this on another world, but I never finished doing it. There's a tunnel going through underneath all this mess. Not tunnel like cave. Well, I suppose you could consider it a cave. That I believe I can get a rail through, and it comes out over here somewhere. I think right there. Not certain. That'd be a way to come across from there and have trains down there. And yes, I'm just spitball thinking here. Train up here, train along the back here rather than trying to bend out here and back. I mean, both are valid, but I think the back route will be a straighter, easier route. And that'll, coming up here, it'd be really annoying to put a junction right there at the top. Much easier to put a junction back here. Gotta be careful. We got 2 iron nodes there. Got 2 iron nodes here. Got 3 iron nodes there. And there is limestone and copper several places else along here. Yep, I guess I'm going to go over here and scope out where I'm going to put train track across here. I think is what we're doing. But before that, I need to take a few minutes of break to grab a drink, do a fluid swap, and get a couple of snacks. So I will be back in a few minutes. Okay, thank you for sticking around. I'm back. While I was out, I discovered that one of the people that I watch play Satisfactory, who has not been playing for a couple of weeks, scheduled a stream for tonight, right now, specifically for me, because I'd been one of two people who've been specifically requesting it. And as seems to be common, they scheduled it right when I'm streaming. Go figure. Oh well. I had to pop in there and say, hey, your schedule sucks. Okay, so we're going to head up here and see if we can scope out a route, and maybe we will drop a... oh, I got to go down here because I'm going to need to run power up there. So I'm going to need to grab power first. But then we'll go up there and maybe even drop a junction up there, and then work south from there. Okay, where are we? So we are aiming up right there is where we're aiming. But first of all, we got to go back down here and find power. Reload my gun, hide my gun. All done with this. Actually, we might want that again, so we'll leave it. Grab a power line here. Actually, let's... Nope. Ooh, excuse me. Munchies. Actually, well, I'm thinking about it. Okay, so this is the... Let's throw a power line over there. So if we come from there and come this way, a bit too far from power. Find power over this way. This is where I was looking at to come up, because it's a shallow, no. We got a shallow bank here, but if I go up there or if I go over here, we got cliffs. If I go over here, we can go right out onto the desert out here. But that is quite a ways down the... Where's the railroad? Over there. Yeah, we can make a curve, come down the beach, and then up here. So that would be... It's got to be here. Yeah, there. And then this here where the blue slug is would be these two rocks. So we're looking at coming up here. And if I come up here, we've got, well, I could come up here and go this way. We've got cliffs there, we've got the cliff here. So if I came up here and went out there, that would work, instead of going all the way down there. Buddy, you're in the way. Of course, I'm not actually building anything at the moment, but... Okay, so that looks like the plan. We'll come up here into the desert and come along, maybe right along the cliffs area, maybe. Leaving this area for production, because there's a whole bunch of iron and copper and crap over there. And I'm not aware offhand of there being anything in here. There might be, but... So we're going to take my power line. Come on, grab a power line. Here we go. And we're going to kind of run up along the edge of here. Not any specific plan, but just a general line of where we might run rail. And because it's in line, that one wants to be a dumbass again. Okay, now from here, where they're aiming for the hill there. So probably going to want to go here unless this is low enough that we can just cut over, but I doubt that it is. So this is what we're looking at. Okay, so this here is going to be this here. We want to go down there, which is there. And there is our hill up. So we're going to want to run rail through here, across, kind of a curve across there, and up this hill, which is not, it doesn't look bad from here, but it is. There's also technically a road across here. Around the cliff edge here. I wouldn't want to put a train around there, but maybe a truck route. And I think there's a cave right here. Yeah. Yeah, nope, I know what's in there. Yep, nope. I know what that cave is. Yep, nope. Actually, I've probably already been in there with the save. I didn't. Let's find out. We're not going in, but... And it's not because there's anything scary or whatever. I'm in peaceful mode. But I get lost in there. No, thank you. But let's check and see if I've already been in there. No summer sloop. No Mercer Sphere. So yep, I've been in there. I don't need to go back in there unless I'm after mushrooms. We can get plenty of those in there. But I don't feel like getting lost. And yes, I know it's a very simple cave and I still get lost in there. I want the power. I want the power line. Thank you. Okay, now that I got some power here, let's show you what the slope of this is. This is not a... Well, it still doesn't look as bad as I know it is as far as getting a railroad up here. This lower part, I guess, isn't too bad. But this slope up here is unfriendly. It's more than a 2-meter slope, which is as much... You can't do a 4-meter slope on rails. You can do a 3.9 kind of slope, but there's not a 3.9 foundation. So you have to, if you're going to do that, you have to kind of fake it. And far from the only way. The simplest way is just to run your rails on the dirt to do that, and I'm not so inclined. I think I will probably at some point build myself a 3-meter rail ramp. So far I've not done that because off the top of my head I'm not sure how, but I've seen others do it, so I know it's possible to do somehow. So what I'm going to have to do ultimately here is probably start up here with a 2-meter ramp going down and just accept that it's going to extend probably out beyond the river. Then, since we're coming up this, we're going to need to do away with all of this. Sorry, doggo. Didn't see you in there. Didn't overly care either. Okay, let's see. I want to be in line. I need power. Might as well do this. So I want to be in line to make a route from back there across to there. Well, the route would actually be here, but to make a defined line. So we're going just going to spitball some power lines out here. I'm looking at my viewer numbers and I'm getting kind of scared. We've got 11 viewers right now, which is an unfamiliar territory to me. I mean, to be honest, I have had more at a time, but it is not common. I'm usually lucky to have 2. So thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with me. I hope I'm entertaining or educational or something. And what we're doing right now is trying to draw a semi-straight line across here to act as a gauge for later putting down rails. Hey, dude, you're in the way. Move. Thank you. Come on. Now, what's straight? Straight is, at least roughly, there. How straight is it behind me now? Almost better than expected. Did I seriously just walk right by this or fly right by this? Alright, let's clear out some of this so I can see what I've got. Hey bird, how you doing? And here's another problem. I can't put rail across those. It needs to be out there. But I guess I am just drawing a line more than anything here. Let's get rid of this somewhere. So if I point, I need to take and draw yet another line from out here somewhere, maybe where this pole is, in that direction. And the reason I'm doing this is I need to figure out where to put a junction so that I have a straight line going both that way and around the curve out here. That's my goal here. Because I need to put an intersection somewhere, or junction, whatever you want to call it, that'll make, hopefully, I mean it doesn't have to, but ideally a straight line down through that gap and right about where that pile of turd looking thing is. But basically right down through here. And lined up with going down through there. So I need to put it somewhere right here. Now if it was just a matter of dropping it and nudging it, not so hard, and I might try that. But once I've set it into nudge mode, I can't rotate it. And I need to make sure it's in a, and that's kind of what the wires are for, is to set my rotation direction, or reference rotation or direction. Let's try a power line from there. Come on, power line from there down that direction. Needs to be forward of that, but so let's go back to train stuff. We want that intersection. Let's put my back to this. Okay, so in that alignment, we come very close to working. This alignment gives me a line that should be acceptable all the way down through there. Does it give me a line? No. See, there's the problem. Now, I could curve going this direction. And I would have to curve going that direction, neither of which is a problem. But I mean, I'm going to have a curve going this way anyway, so I guess it's not really a big issue. I just don't want that curve to be any more than it has to be. This way, we want to go this way some more. Should still line up going that way. I'm concerned about this side missing the rock, and that will miss the rock. So we should be able to make a straight line down through there, which would be awesome. We'll need to curve here, but it's not bad, and that's not, I mean, kind of got to anyways. And really have to curve here. The only alternative to this alignment would be to move it back here quite a ways in order to get the next rotation in the clockwise direction would point this in such a way that to get a straight line down there, I would need to move this back this way significantly. See, now y'all are going to make me try that. Yes, I'm blaming it on you guys. Let's see how this works. We're going to lock that. How much farther back do I need this to come to clear that rock? A lot farther than I thought. That's at least that far back. And we're right at the back of this, and we're going to run right into the mines here. So yeah, that definitely does not work. See what y'all made me do? So let's come back somewhere in here. Recheck this alignment. That should be clear, it looks like to me. This side is clear to make a curve. This needs to go this way more. Yeah, that looks good, I think. And how about vertically? I'm going to go down one. Nope. Oh. Are we already? Okay, so this one is up in the air. Let's put that one down in. And the rest of them are all down in. So we're good for height. And we're going to set it and regret it later. And then we need... No, that's not what I... You go away. Let me click on these. There we go. I need 2 of those there. 2 of those there. And 2 of those there. Alright, now let's go this way. Let's do a couple of things. I don't just want auto connect, I want you to connect. Oh, there we go. I want you to connect flat and straight. There we go. Don't expect you to go much further than that. There you go. Put you there. Viewpoint. How much into the rock are we going to be? Yeah, not too bad. Well, that's nice. Got a nice little clear indent for to put this stand. What more can you ask for? Very nice. Not even a pixel of clipping. Oh, wait. Maybe some clipping down there at the bottom. Oh, well. Hey. Excuse me. Oh. Asshole animal walked in the way. Dude, get out of the way. I'm gonna have to wait you out. Dude, asshole, move. This is when you want a second person. Get out of my way. Thank you. Now down here, actually, I'm going to want a ramp. This is going to need to be maybe even a 2. Yep, this is going to need to be a 2, sitting here on the hill somewhere. Might also want to just make this a turn here. Yeah, because this is going to go over that way. So let's unlock this. And we're going to want to go over maybe something like that. Nice turn. Nice angle here, I think. But where are we going once we get down there? If we go... We can't go off the end of that. We've got a limestone and copper right there. I think we're going to leave this here, abort that, and we'll figure that out later. Let's go back to our main line here. The reason we came up here, let's connect it to our south rail. Find our way across the desert here. And let's see, vertically, we're going to put a flat right here off the end to get our signal close to, and I should have done that over here, because now our signal's all the way out there. It really should be right here next to this. So we will snap here, move it out there, link, and place. Now we have our signals right here, although all having done and said that, do. And the thing here is, if these rails were blueprint rails, in my experience, and I don't know why, half the time putting signals right on the edge of the blueprint won't work. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. Sometimes they'll complain about several different issues. Usually, signal wraps around to the signal again, whatever that error is. If you played, you're very familiar with that error. And that's despite having all the other signals correct, and we can go and replace signals and replace track sections, and eventually, usually it'll sort itself out, but it's just a pain in the butt. Because these are not part of the blueprint, this will work, so what I did here will work just fine. And I think I am going to go back and remove this and do this the same, because I want to put a flat out here at the top of the hill. So we can do this, and I would like it to be I would like it to be level with this, but how do I make it level with this when once it's out here? So there I can... No, dummy, I don't want to place it there yet. I wanted to link. Apparently I was already linked. Okay, so there's link. I want to set it here and go out. But I don't want to, I can't go out very far and still have a smooth curve here. I want to be, yeah, that'll do good. I want to be closer to the hill than what that is, but I don't want to be too close to this either. If I come out here too far, then my ramp going down is, well, my ramp going down is going to be screwy anyways. I'm going to bring this back a little bit here. That's where it is. We'll work from there. Next is a 2-meter ramp off the end of this. Link, release, because this is definitely not going to be straight. No, just there. How is this in height? Better than I expected. Let's actually bring this back here. We want it up a bit. And we want it over here a bit. Thing is, I actually want that down, not up. But therein lies the problem with doing the 2-meter. You know what? Yeah. Skip this. We're going to come back up here and replace this. We're going to start the ramp right off the bat. So we're going to do 2-meter ramp. We're still going to line it up with this. I'm going to need this. Okay, I need to link this. But this is going to have to come down at least that far. That should be okay. Nope, gotta come down more. And will this work curve-wise? No. That's okay. Let's bring this back to where we started with the... We're deep into the ground with our supports, but that's okay. This will let us not... we won't have to extend our ramps out as far. And if I bring this back... Okay, that rail is level and then comes down. And this is far enough back where I can do a gentle curve that'll still miss that cliff. Let's come back to there. This one is no longer attached. This one is just going to sit somewhere down here. And we'll find an elevation for it. Way down. Beam, get out. Go away. I think the next one then I can do... I can do the next one as a flat, I think. At least that's what we're going to try. Okay, this side of the beach. Somewhere in that neighborhood, maybe. Ew, I do not like that. That looks better. I want it to be on this side of the beach. And that'll do, I suppose. How are we for height? That's clean. Cool. We'll do the next one here. And this is where we start going this way, and we're too far. Maybe there. That looks like it's aimed awful doggone perfect with our power line, doesn't it? How does it look with our... I don't know, that looks almost too good, doesn't it? Got a little bit of a wiggle here, but not much I can do about that. That's annoying. Not acceptable. So we are turning 1 this way. Can't go 2. Or did we go 2? Looks like we might go 2 now. So we were right about there. Yeah, so I don't know if you can see it, but this curve goes that way first before coming back. It's only a tick. But that one tick, well, we're still, if I go straight, we're still clear of this turn. So let's try this. We are on shore, we're on dirt or sand. So let's try this. Let's see how this works this time. See now, yeah, that doesn't work either. I turned this one too much. So we want it 1 turn only. And then we'll put it right here-ish. And we'll check this little curve here. Looks acceptable. Fair warning, possible sneeze incoming. That's a warning for anyone wearing a headset. If you've ever been around one of my sneezes, you'll know why I give a warning. Okay, I still think there's that curve that'll bug me there, but I can't prove it. Hopefully it doesn't actually show. That actually does look better than the previous. I think the curve is still there, but I'm not going to fight with it anymore. At least not right now. Okay, so 2 ticks on this one. I'm going to put it just on shore there. And that runs down there very nicely, and we are clear of the cliff here. What's it look like from back here? Nice smooth curve there. Yep, I don't see that wiggle this time. I think it's still there, but I think it's an artifact of this curving that way and that curving back. That's what I'm seeing. So we're going to leave it. And this lines up going south pretty decently for the time being. We'll have to turn at some point a little bit, but for now that looks good. And then we'll lock this. lock it, and we'll just going straight out again. Move the not sure which is faster, letting the key auto repeat or manually doing it. I think it's pretty much 6 of one, half dozen of the other, but it feels faster doing it by hand. Yep. I'd rather, yeah, we'll just move it back behind this, I guess. But we don't want to be on the pole. I guess we're not. Okay. We're clear of the rocks over here. Yes. Oh, we're clear of the power. Now we're starting to float. I mean, that's not a big deal, but actually I can go, let's see, we need to turn and go down to there. Right? Make note of that cave. Yeah, we need to go down here and here. So I'll come back to the cave entrance down here in a little bit. Well, I won't come back over here, but I'll reference it. So that's that cave right there. I think no, we are going to unlock this and make our turn over this way. We'll make our turn. We don't want to go that far. Just make a gentle turn. Clean turn. That'll do. Now we look like we're going down a bit, so do I want to keep it level? Yes, I think I do. So we're going to do that. Nice, and I can keep this going right straight down there. But next we're going to do a 1 meter down. And up we want up. And let's put it how far out here? Can we put it right on the beach? Nice, let's put it right on the beach then. Might need to do something about that tree. But that looks like a nice curve down. Come back up here and check. Yep, we got a nice clean curve. Oh, hi Jones, didn't see you there. Maybe I did. All right. So now I need to make a drastic turn from both ends and go down there. We also need to redo my power lines here. Come on, grab it. There we go. Beach here so I can see what I'm doing. One tree. Missed one tree. Actually, I guess missed several. And still missed. Die. There we go. Now, need to deal with this tree over here. That should be sufficient. Now, how do we want to do this? flat rail should be fine. I think this is going to be a matter of finding a good curve on this end. That looks good to me. How is it vertically? Looks good vertically. Maybe that'll do. Let's come down to the other side, see if we point reasonably close to that. Although, nope, we're going to come down this. We're going to do it from here. Just a straight line out again, and with any luck, this will, wherever this ends up, will connect cleanly with the other side. I'm hoping. Not going to hold my breath. I think that's going to be too far, but we're going to try it anyways. Will this connect over there? It will not. But that's okay. Because we will just do this. And why you not auto connect? There we go. Don't like where it lands as far as the beach goes, but it looks good as far as the rails go. And let's go up one here. Yeah. And with that, we have rails all the way from the grassy plains up the coast, up to the, we'll say, the cliffside, with a street route over here where I'm not sure where to go yet, and a link that can come down around the corner here. We will worry about those next time, which at this point will be possibly Saturday, more likely Monday. No, not Monday. Possibly Saturday, more likely Tuesday. So the probable schedule for future videos are going to be Tuesday and Thursday evenings. I may do mornings, which is when this one was originally scheduled, was for this morning, for a longer stream. But life doesn't like me doing that. So it will probably be Tuesday and Thursday evenings for this. And then I do other streams Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Weekends depends on life. We shall see. But we're going to call this one here. We've done our goal for the night, for the night, I think. At least the main goal. Actually, didn't think we'd get any further than this, but yep, that's where we are for tonight. I thank you all that stuck around for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I don't know how to do a I can't think of what you call it, but when I pass you off to another stream. But if you would all go and look up Moose Tracks Gaming, all one word, and go visit him. He is currently streaming Satisfactory. That's where I'm going to go watch. And Raid, that's what it is. Here, I will put a link to that video in chat even. Let me see. See if I can paste this link in chat. If my mouse will cooperate. So, go watch him. I don't know how else to do a proper raid. I know other people do it. I haven't figured out how it works, but go visit him. Say hi from me. I'll be there shortly. And thank you for sticking with me and watching. And have a good evening.